This is not just a step forward for you. This is a lift off. It's a lift off, and you're about to take flight in a complete new trajectory. And I was hearing the structural integrity of this is unmatched. And what I gathered from that is that this next step lifts you off simply because it's in alignment with, I'm hearing, the integrity of the soul's path. It is a step that requires you to move forward with integrity and honor the soul's natural call for exploration. And you're literally about to take flight into a new reality, and it's still reassembling around you. And this is about you being the fool. Okay, let's talk about it. You are the fool right now. As you can see, she is pretty much about to do this trust fall with the universe. And below her is this infinite sea of possibilities. It's actually this interconnected web, okay, that she's attuned to. And essentially, this is a geometric, intricate structure that is divinely, I'm hearing, orchestrated. So this could be even about divine inspiration that you're being called to. I'm literally hearing like fall into. You know, when you fall into a project, I'm seeing you fall in love with like life again, or you're falling into uh like the universe's arms. Like that's definitely an energy. But the fall doesn't wait for the plane to be built. The flight builds it. And this is about something basically building as you move down it. It's almost like the road is unfolding as you walk down the road. And it's because you know that there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And because you're actively walking the path and following your heart's desires, the universe is revealing its mysteries in regards to the how and the when something happens. You know the where you want to go, okay? And the why, okay? And that's what's important. And the fall is zero, right? What is zero? It is the 0 point. It is the breath before creation. And we're going to go ahead and talk about it, right? Before we really get into this, I do want to talk about the other interpretations of the fall card. And this is you. Again, basically it is you. It is a space of nothing that creates everything. And I'm hearing your silence has never been so loud. In fact, your silence is actually deafening right now. Your silence is also its own transmission. And your action is the very thing that's speaking 1,000 words for you. And I'm hearing it's the action that you take that's sending ripples through space and time that you're actually going to see in a linear fashion, altering the timelines that you become eligible for and in resonance to because of that action that you took. And I'm hearing that action is not just an action, it's about the embodiment and moving according with the soul's desires as one through the human, okay, and in the human experience. So yeah, the 4 leaps before the path is even visible. We'll talk about it and then we're really going to get into it, right? And it's like taking off before the plane is complete. What I was getting for you is almost like you're flying a plane, but you're assembling it as it's in the sky. That's the energy. It's almost like the universe says, we don't care if you think that you are not ready, right? Or that you're not prepared. You are more ready than you think. And that's the message that's coming through right now. You can and you will, and you are doing something. I'm hearing it's the I am, right? It's about the embodiment. And the full trust this invisible current, right, where frequency itself becomes the fuel. And the fool may appear to be naive, especially to the outside world, right? It's someone that's carefree. It's someone that just has, this optimism for life and, this next cycle that they can step into, that, they're seeing life as if it were through the eyes of a newborn baby, right? It's almost like they're looking at life through fresh eyes, through the eyes of the soul. And this they're curious, they are also very, very curious. So your curiosity could be leading you right now, right? And it's an archetype that symbolizes beginnings, but also a risk that is required. And that risk does require a level of surrender, right? Especially as you make friends with the unknown, because everything that you've ever wanted to experience lies in that, I'm hearing, sea of the unknown right now. So there is a lot that maybe is unseen in a linear fashion in regards to how exactly I'm hearing things are going to play out for you. But the end goal is something that you've already gathered a glimpse in regards to. It's like you gained a glimpse into your destiny before it unfolds in a linear fashion. And I'm hearing that's a quantum vision that you're connected to, actually entangled with. And this other quantum non-local connection, almost like a coordinate of yourself, a fractal of yourself within this multiverse, okay? This sea of universes is reaching out to you. I'm seeing almost like messages from your parallel self come through. But yeah, they take the risk even if they don't know what the wings are going to look like just yet of the plane that they're, beginning to fly. And this person doesn't attach to the form of what the wings are going to look like. They are craving the essence of it, right? So what are you seeking right now? Is it abundance? Is it liberation? Is it freedom? There is like an essence that, your soul's calling for. And because of that, the 4 is the 0 point. It's again the space between um I'm hearing nothing to something. It's the space between the intangible to the tangible, right? It's a space before creation takes place in a very tangible form. Okay, so you're in that in between realms right now. That's almost like what I'm seeing right now. And this is about the womb, right? The womb of creation. So what I was seeing for the analogy is, imagine this, right? You are the full card. You are this person right here, and you are the plane, and the engine's roaring and the runway falls away. And even as you rise, the wings are still fastening, the panels are still sliding into place. And from the outside, it looks seamless, right? From the outside, it seems like there is just this plane flying in the sky, soaring towards its aspirations, almost something that's effortless. But within you, there is almost like a simultaneous cosmos within what appears to be chaotic, right? A secret order that you're experiencing and something that may appear to be disorderly. And there is a paradox in that chaos, but also a creation taking place in your life, and both happening at once. But also, when you surrender to, I'm hearing, the order of things, the secret order is revealed to you. And that's what's required of you during this time, especially with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, right? It's kind of like releasing control and seeing how the universe is revealing its mysteries to you. Okay, and there is something I'm hearing bigger. I'm hearing there's forces beyond your control right now that are at play when it comes to this next trajectory that you're heading into. So yeah, it's how timelines shift. You don't wait for certainty before you leap. Instead, you leap and the certainty assembles around you, right? Reality begins to reconfigure itself and correspond with the internal trust. And yeah, because of that, something new crystallizes in response to it. So yeah, the Fool reminds you that you're not just building towards wholeness, but you are wholeness, right? The wings appear only when you dare to fly. And this is what I'm saying. It's almost like the how something happens only appears to you the moment that you dare to move towards something, remembering your why. Okay, it's like your intention and your why is what's grounding you. Okay, as you move towards the where you want to go, and the how and the when, right, the form is beginning to reveal itself to you. So yeah, this is something that fits perfectly. It's trusting an invisible current during this time. It also is this essence that you're carrying. So we're going to go ahead and read the depiction in the Cosmos Visions deck. As you can see, the Fool is connected to death. So I'm hearing this is an imminent ending that comes with, I'm hearing a resurrection of some kind, right? So an ending is not the end. The Fool card is about a new beginning in disguise. So there is an ending when it comes to maybe old ways of navigating this construct as well. But this ending is directly tied to a new beginning of some kind, even like a new version of yourself that you're stepping into. And yeah, the energy that I'm getting from this is death is a glimpse into new dimensions where new stories get to play out in your life. And there is a new frequency in the way that you're relating to an ending. There is a new, I'm hearing resonance and a way that you're resonating with your past experiences. Okay. Anyway, new beginnings, second chances. In the beginning, there is death. It's what we often fear most and know so little about. We imagine it as the soundless dark void, where there is nothing everywhere. But in this oracle, death marks the start. So there is like an ending of something, but it also marks the start of a new beginning. Perhaps it is here that we can finally see death, not as the impending force of doom we so fear, but rather an escort to our new chapter. And this is what I mean. It's like you guys are being escorted into this new paradigm and into this new time within yourself. It is in the end of a cycle that opens a door into a new lifetime that will unfold. This is what I mean. It's almost like you're literally stepping into a new lifetime within this lifetime. And I'm hearing that's a new lifeline that's becoming available to you during this period. So if I'm also hearing period 9, so 2025 could be specific for you. It also talks about if death does come up in a reading, do not be alarmed. Take the hand that guides you as if it belonged to an old friend and grab it tightly, for death in this oracle is a sign of life. Right? There's a paradox that's happening. It can represent a grand beginning, a second chance at living, or mastering 2 lives in 1 lifetime. I feel like so much is about to transpire for you where it's literally about to feel like, like you're about to be given like a whole new lifetime. I don't care where you are in your timeline either. I don't care what age you are. There's something around you coming back to your timeless essence, and I'm hearing like you're gonna feel like a kid once again. Again, you're following the core of the soul's natural explorer ability, and I'm seeing being putting on your explorer hat once again, right? So yeah, this also talks about beginnings can also be restorative, and it is more often than not that we forget to realize the beauty in the infinity of things. So the other depiction, which we're going to get to, is the world card, and it talks about your life on Earth. But before that, I also want to talk about this depiction of it. So this talks about spontaneity, a leap of faith, and second chances, a new beginning. A perched pelican rests on an old wooden post, eroded by the lapping waves. Hidden in the dark, a hungry wolf awaits. The hand of death fades in and out, grasping at either the pelican or the wolf. This is the first of 2 appearances of the hand of death in this card, but do not be alarmed. Like the Fool, death is a symbol of a new beginning, and allow the ending of a cycle to open the door into a new chapter. So there is literally something around you taking flight into a new direction. And look at this. Can you see around this thing? If you guys have been here, you know what this is. This is a lifeline, right? This is literally a lifeline that gets thrown to you. And what's crazy is that this lifeline with the pelican is going to help you take flight in a new direction. And the pelican is linked to the emperor, right? The emperor is about reaching higher levels of establishment within your career, other life goals that you've set for yourself, but it's mastery over Mars, right? The physical, and how you align your actions accordingly in the physical. And that leading to new tangible results. And it's almost like you're building an empire for the soul. And I'm hearing like an empire for the soul to play and create in, and an empire being your vessel, right? Mars energy. It's like you're really honoring that through the action that you choose to take during this time that is supportive of the soul's intentions, and it's soul aligned action, right? And the other energy with this is to become buoyant, right? What is a lifeline? It helps you become less dense in the medium that you're immersed in, which means that while you're immersed within this matrix, you're operating and navigating this construct from higher levels of awareness, right? You're thinking about your experience from a higher level of awareness. Because of that, shifting the frameworks in which you view your reality and also your life on Earth. And it's also changing the way that you feel about that life or your life on Earth, right? A bioelectrical charge that you're emitting into the system. You're highly conducive because of that. You're able to actually sustain higher bandwidths of frequency light, and that aligns you into higher timelines that you're in resonance with, right? So that's what I'm seeing. I'm hearing like an uplift, right? It's like I'm seeing like you being uplifted and lifted up. Okay, that's like the energy that's coming through as well for you. And then we also have the world, right? So the world we're going to get to. The other message I was getting, because I got like a huge download about the Fool the other day, is that you're about to touch down, right? It does talk about the Fool's essence is that there will always be another takeoff, right? There will always be another leap, another sky, but the Fool is the eternal traveler who trusts the wings will appear again and again. And the wings are built of memory. That's what I was seeing it as. And this isn't just about this life on Earth. This is about you being the timeless consciousness that's navigating this life on Earth through this physical vessel. And you've incarnated into many different physical vessels, right? Many carbon-based life forms. Your plasma origin, right, has incarnated into many carbon-based life forms and has remembered itself when it comes to your life on Earth time and time and time again. And that's what I'm seeing, this spherical model that is time. It's like you've always come back to yourself every time, right? And the other message I was getting is that this flight is something that has happened over many lifetimes. It's almost like you've been building these wings of memory to the point where I'm hearing like a memory reflex where each time you've incarnated into this medium, right, that your soul's a master in this matrix, you have exercised this muscle to the point where I'm hearing you can reactivate something that has lain dormant, which is the fact that your infinite potential, and come back into that. Okay, that's what I'm seeing it as. Like muscle memory when you haven't done something for a while, but then you do it again after like a long time. And I'm hearing this is like the distance between lifetimes, but you're pulling in these like this awareness from parallel streams, right? And the message I was getting is that this touchdown that you're about to have is not a failure, but it's a checkpoint. Okay. So I feel like this is a checkpoint in regards to, okay, now that you remember yourself, how are you going to choose to navigate this construct differently, right? How can we think about this differently? How can we feel about this differently? And because of that, the fool gathers for an upgrade. And that's what I was seeing for you. Even like on my iPad right now for my camera, it says new firmware available, tap to update. So I feel like, again, there's like something that you're just like updating in your system, right? Updated ways of thinking or feeling about yourself or your journey. And because of that, a new blueprint evolves, right? A new plane begins to assemble in that moment, and you are that plane. And if you think about the plane, it's a vehicle, right? So this is almost like an update when it comes to your vehicle that you navigate this construct through, and you're stronger, you're lighter, you're more aligned, right? You're in higher resonance, and you're now becoming awakened to the point where your next takeoff comes with an even bigger leap because you've been equipped for this leap, right? This is about being equipped with higher firmware, right? Tech. And the truth is, every touchdown is only the pause before a greater ascent. And I feel like you're about to ascend into a complete new experience. I'm hearing it's the best one yet. So whatever that means for you. And the fool never stops leaping. It only upgrades vessels each time. And I feel like you've upgraded literally into a new vessel, right? That's what I'm seeing in this lifetime. It's almost like your literally vessel is going through a glow up. That's what I'm seeing. Like your physical vessel has shifted because your emotions and your thoughts have shifted. You know, that's what I'm seeing. Like almost like a character, because if you think about the ascendant, it is how the soul rises into a new form, right? 12th house to first house, the non-physical incarnating into the physical, and incarnating into this very, very dense plane where you can fall into this human amnesia, but you've awoken, right? And you've remembered your cosmic origins once again. And the moment that happens, I'm seeing is like the moment the glow up occurs, right? So like that's the energy that I'm seeing around you. The wings are your multidimensional memory that's been carrying the codes of all that you've already been, right? It's not like you're seeking something outside of yourself. You've come back to your true self that's always been there, seated within you, right? And you've been seated within your own plane, within your own vehicle. And I'm hearing that's the one that takes the leaps. That's the one that's been calling to be freed, right? And liberated. And this is about this lifetime being your greatest flight of all time. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some energy on this because why not? And then we'll get into it. Let's see. What is this? Gestation period, winter's dream. Right, this talks about it's not the time to go to sleep. It's funny because going to sleep and going unconscious is actually being put on autopilot. Okay, autopilot is where you begin to, I'm hearing, become subject to forces beyond your control in the way where you feel like you're not in charge of your trajectory. Okay, there's something around being intentional with every step that you take right now, and having your intention being the very thing that anchors you while you're taking these leaps. Because I'm hearing it's when you're in midair that there's a paradox that you'll never feel so grounded or like rooted in who you are, right? So that's gestation period. I'm gonna go ahead and read it for you. It's a very interesting card to come through because it literally talks about now's not the time to go unconscious, now's not the time to go in autopilot. So, conscious awareness. This talks about this is a dream that summons you to go within. Your life force longs to turn inwards, like the sap of trees returning to the roots. Cast your gaze towards the deep and hidden places in your heart. Come to rest again in the sanctuary and the safety of your soul, and be at peace, basking in the crystalline clarity in that quiet place. It's not hibernation. Do not fall asleep. Take your quiet, wakeful nature with you into stillness and know that you're replenishing your life force. Trust that the deeply buried seeds inside of your soul, the ones that you planted even before you were born, right, in this lifetime, are stirring softly and ready to awaken within the spring. And it's super interesting because this month in September, actually, we do have where I am now in Peru, because it's in the southern hemisphere, we have the spring equinox incoming on around the date of the new moon eclipse in Virgo. So it does feel like, again, there is like a new beginning, right, that's occurring. So do not try to rouse them early. Instead, surrender to the quiet of the winter's dream. The winter's dream can lull you into a slumber where you can lose consciousness and become caught in a nightmare, right? Where the fact that the plane is assembling as you go, can be a scary thought, right? Because it feels like there's so much out of your control. But it's also, I'm seeing where Neptune is placed in your chart. So you may want to look into that. But this is almost your blind spot where things that you can kind of look outside of yourself in regards to and be inspired by, it can feel like there is a lot of unanswered questions in regards to, well, how is that going to transpire? How can I move towards this vision? However, it's also where you experience God, where you experience your interconnectedness to all things, where you experience the people, places, and things interwoven into your path that seamlessly blend into this intricate tapestry that is, your existence here. And it's not until you begin to step back from a tapestry that you can begin to see this abstract art as something that is a concept that is displayed to you, and you cannot admire it until you look back. If you look too close, you can't really see the bigger picture. And sometimes that's what Neptune is. Neptune is about being able to see the interconnected, intricate design, right? In the geometric structure of the fall that is surrounding you. So, yeah, transparency comes with winter's heart to permeate your heart and soul. The time for action will come later. Remember, all things are born of dreams, and your task is to wake up within the dream, to lucidly guide it towards your chosen destination. That's exactly what's going on right now. With this, it's almost as if it's not the time to go to sleep. It's a time to awaken and make sure you're guiding the plane. Make sure you're actively guiding the vessel. I'm hearing making sure that you're actively guiding your actions in the physical to support the soul's intentions. That's like the energy that's coming through very, very strongly. Okay. Oh, let's see. Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, and end of a cycle, right? And the end of a cycle brings in a new way of being, right? Let's go ahead and read this. It's a very, very auspicious card. This card also actually came up in, what temple were we at? Esna Temple as well, which is all about clay, right? And being able to remold or reshape your life as many times as needed, and not being afraid to, put more water or oil on the clay. If something has solidified or feel like it's become hardened, or you've become like quite rigid in your ways of moving through this existence, well, begin to become more flexible, begin to become more fluid, right? Begin to see that you can remold or repurpose or redesign, right? Yourself or your life as many times as needed, right? So Anunnaki light codes, we'll go ahead and read this. So, great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you're willing to shift your perception, right? Your perception creates your reality. You may be experiencing resistance to change, right? You can also feel, right, that change is not what hurts, is your resistance to it that begins to hurt. And, taking flight while the plane is still assembling is definitely something that requires, I'm hearing not just trust, but like trusting in the unfoldment of, and knowing that it has already come to be, but you're witnessing the becoming of it in a linear fashion. But on a quantum level, it already exists. And I'm hearing that's something that calms and quiets the linear mind, that actually, I'm hearing, illuminates the polarity between the linear mind and the quantum. So this talks about, and the linear mind is often the fearful one, right? It's trusting in the distance between those two events. That is something we call time, which is a construct that we use to measure, right, that distance when it comes to your life on Earth. But your place of origin transcends time and space. So if you are wondering what the best course of action to take, the Anunnaki are encouraging you to go with Anu, right? Old systems, old ways of being, old ways of doing things must be released if you are to evolve. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but that vulnerability, stepping into the unknown, is the only connecting bridge. Vulnerability is the bridge to connection, connecting with your highest timelines, connecting with people, circumstances, experiences, right? An ecosystem filled with these very specific timelines, right, and realities. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but it will allow you to make a deeper connection to your feelings, gifts, and what is important to you. You're standing at a gateway of pure potential, and that will be ignited as soon as you move through this necessary change. Be open to new information and new processes and new ideas. You're part of the new energy upon Earth. So I'm hearing you're actually becoming I'm hearing you're leading by example right now, but you don't realize that in leading by example, you're mirroring a different response and a different reflection. You're no longer mirroring back the wounds of fear and what that looks like. You're mirroring I'm hearing you're illuminating wounds of fear within many other fractals of consciousness that may not be totally aware of itself just yet, but it's becoming aware of where that fear has held them back, your ability to move through that fear and move through and with the presence of fear and choosing the act of self-love when it comes to honoring the soul's path. And that is the mirrored reflection of the new human, because that is to be seated in multidimensional awareness, which means that there are multiple dimensions existing interdimensionally within you as an interdimensional being. What dimensions? Their frequencies, not spatial concepts, which means that fear and love can coexist, but you can still choose that love over fear. And this is where the power of love is overcome by the love of power, right? The fearful aspect of yourself that wants to control, that wants to know all the details, South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces, that trusts in the art of surrender and understands that what it is that you surrender to becomes the reason for your transformation. And there is almost a new chapter that requires that art of detachment, creating space. And in that space is where the magic unfolds. You're giving the universe space to bring in new experiences and download that into your reality. I'm hearing like streamlining it, and it comes rushing in like a current. Oh, hold on, I almost forgot to read to you Life on Earth, right? This is about the world card. So this is somewhere that you're landing, and it's an ending and a new beginning when it comes to your life on Earth. Giant hands lift you up. They pulse with love so deep that you can feel it coursing through your being. In this first embrace, you are home in your new life on Earth. So again, I just feel like you're going to be having a new life on Earth in general. When you are a young human, you can often recall your previous lives before being inside of this bodily vessel. It's comforting, it inspires you. This new life is exciting for a long time. But as you grow older, having spent more time on this planet, you start to forget your old soul. It seems so far away, a different life, and this is your life now. So you adopt this world as your own, forgetting the real one behind until the next time around. And with great harmony, another cycle begins. And again, this is a new cycle that you're shifting into. Life on Earth has existed on this planet for billions of years, and you're here witnessing it. When you see this card in a reading, take it as a wonderful sign. It asks nothing of you but appreciation. Breathe in the air, fill in your lungs, and exhale back into the universe. You're alive, and that is enough. And that's interconnected with Dream World, right? The next card in the deck is Dream World. And it talks about a perspective shift, right? As you reconnect with yourself. So yeah, Dream World contains a space of both dreams and nightmares. They sparkle like scales in water and offer glimpses into realities once not far from our own. Recall the power of this place and let it fill your voids. Okay, so I'm hearing this is about the version of yourself that really embraces assembling this plane as you're taking flight in the sky. And there's also a version of yourself that's bracing for it and is just wanting to go on autopilot, right? So yeah, this is what it is. And these are things that you're going to have to account for, right? Even if you go on autopilot, and I'm hearing you avoid these kind of responsibilities almost of the soul to honor this, etheric growth that's going on. That's something that you will count for even after this lifetime. So there is something around a soul review that's almost taking place at this stage in your journey. So with that being said, I'm going to love and leave you right there. That's a message for today. I trust that this is exactly what you need to hear at this stage in your journey. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around for the journey. We have a lot of interesting things that will be unfolding behind the scenes that you'll see in a linear fashion at the time of alignment. And yeah, personal reading details are also down below. There will be a waiting list for October though. And yeah, also check out Spirit if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. This is a small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful AA grade pieces. These are different gemstones that you can work with. I'm wearing the Eclipse Chakra collection, okay? The Eclipse collection for the corn moon, and $1 of the proceeds are donated to Otter Wildlife. So I have amethyst, what's it called? Amethyst, black tourmaline, and then also I don't know why I was going to say obsidian, but that's relevant for a future read. And also citrine, which is an abundance stone. But yeah, you have a discount code down below, 𝓲𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬𝓪 if you guys are interested. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. Until next time, bye.